Unthinkable, the chilling crimes of Darnell Jones. What started out as a desperate search for a missing kid quickly turned into a catastrophic homicide investigation that showed significant institutional flaws. Kimani Latig, who was 13 years old at the time, was reported missing in the middle of March 2025, and this heartbreaking case has shook the city of Toledo. On the morning of Monday, March 17, Dorothy Latig arrived home from her overnight shift, which marked the beginning of the story. Dorothy was Kimani's legal guardian, so she was familiar with her granddaughter's schedule. By that time in the morning, Kimani would have already departed for school. On that particular day, however, things were different. Dorothy discovered that the house was oddly quiet, and she spotted items that immediately prompted her to feel apprehensive. Kimani's valuables, including her house keys, mobile phone, and spectacles, were retained within the house. The stove was left on, which was an odd and unsettling sign. Her underwear was folded neatly near the couch, and her pajamas were lying discarded on the floor of the dining room. Kimani was last seen the night before, at approximately 10 o'clock on Sunday, March the 16th, according to the most recent confirmed sighting. It was alleged that she had called her biological father, Darnell Jones, declaring that she was terrified and that she believed someone might be attempting to break into the house during the call. They left the house at approximately 12:30 in the morning, according to Jones, who later told the police that he had come over with his cousin to sit with her. Upon Dorothy's realization that Kimani had not yet arrived at Spring Elementary School, she called the school and was informed that her granddaughter had completely disappeared without a trace. As the feeling of terror began to take hold, she attempted to contact her family and friends, but no one had heard from the teenager. She was unable to get through to her voicemail on her phone. Within a short period of time, Dorothy made a call to 911 to report Kimani missing, and the Toledo Police Department promptly opened an investigation. Concern turned into action throughout the course of the subsequent few days. Hundreds of members of the community participated in the hunt after flyers were distributed throughout the town. In the hopes of finding Kimani, volunteers searched each and every neighborhood. "You are missed by us." The focus rapidly shifted to her father, Darnell Jones, who was the last person seen alive by anyone who was known to have seen her alive. Authorities started interviewing him, but he kept changing his tale over and over again. Then, a worrisome development occurred. Jones contacted his girlfriend and requested that she turn off the surveillance cameras that were installed in her home. She did not agree. Almost immediately after that, a member of Jones's family witnessed him transporting items from his vehicle into the basement of the house. The girlfriend, who was concerned, made a call to the authorities. The materials that Jones had concealed were retrieved by the police when they obtained a search warrant. Following the realization that the police had entered the residence and gathered evidence, Jones ran away. In response to a "be on the lookout" alert that was issued, the Columbus Police Department located him the next day, on March 25th. Camera footage from the cops' body cameras caught the dramatic conflict that occurred when they approached. Officers opened fire on Jones when he pulled out a firearm. After the meeting, he was taken to the hospital in critical condition and remained there till his condition improved. Following his arrest, investigators stated that Jones acknowledged pulling Kimani inside the abandoned house and causing her to sustain fatal injuries. His transfer to the Franklin County Jail resulted in him being detained in the medical wing of the facility. On the 18th of April, he made his appearance in the Lucas County Court, where his bond was set at a total of $4 million. This includes $2 million for the crime of murder, as well as $1 million for each of the charges of kidnapping and assault. In a later statement, the prosecution stated that they intended to pursue the death penalty. Then on April 19th, a fire completely destroyed the abandoned house where Kimani was discovered, which was a haunting turn of events. The structure had already been deemed hazardous, and fire authorities fought the fire from the outside due to worries about the safety of the building. A probable arson investigation is currently being conducted as a result of the fire being deemed suspicious. That following day, city crews were responsible for destroying the burned remnants. Despite this, the community memorial that had been erected outside the house was kept before the fire occurred as a means of showing concern. Over the course of the investigation, a more comprehensive and distressing narrative began to emerge. It was a story of ignored warnings and failings in the system. According to the documents filed with the court, Darnell Jones had a lengthy record of criminal behavior, which included arrest for domestic abuse, resisting arrest, attempted arson, and firearms violations. However, he continued to have access to Kamani despite this. Almost immediately, the Lucas County Children's Services came under the attention of the public. The organization acknowledged in a statement that it had conducted an investigation after various concerns regarding Kamani's treatment between the months of December 2023 and March 2024. In every instance, Kamani had been interrogated in private and stated that she was in a secure environment. In addition, the agency stated that they were unaware of Darnell Jones's role in her life whenever those investigations were being conducted. Even more concerning is the fact that they confess that even if they had been aware of his presence, it might not have significantly altered their choice because it seemed as though Kamani's fundamental requirements were being satisfied. In response to these findings, tremendous indignation was created. Kamani's former teacher went public with the revelation that staff had previously alerted Children's Services after witnessing obvious bruises and hearing worrisome words from Kamani. Advocacy organizations urged that an independent investigation of child welfare protocols be conducted, and Kamani's former teacher went public with the information. In spite of the fact that Kamani had previously lived with a different guardian at the time, the instructor was of the opinion that additional actions could have been taken and should have been taken. Darnell Jones made his initial court appearance on April 30th for the purpose of a formal arraignment. A variety of allegations, which included aggravated murder, kidnapping, and felony assault, were brought against him, and he entered a plea of not guilty while seated in the courtroom. The prosecution presented an overview of the case, describing the 15 counts that were brought against the defendant. These counts included aggravated burglary, multiple felony murder, and rape. They referred to Jones as a sexually aggressive predator and stated that the proof will be overwhelming, consisting of more than 200 pieces in all. In spite of the fact that the trial is slated to take place in April 2026, the community continues to express its sorrow and demand answers. The case has evoked strong feelings throughout Northwest Ohio, not only due to the heinous nature of the murder, but also due to the fact that it is possible that Kamani's death could have been avoided. She was a happy and bright 7th grade student who always gave her teacher a hug when she arrived at school in the morning. Her favorite things to do were to dance, play basketball, and make other people happy. Moreover, she was deserving of more than the physical abuse and emotional neglect that finally led to her passing. He was important, Kamani Latig, and now her name is a rallying cry, a reminder that children have the right to be heard, believed, and most importantly, protected. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.